Hey, family. Hey, hey, hey. I just need to share this in my group. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, Christine. How are you, my love? How are you? It's good. It's good to see you, sweetheart. It is good to see you. I'm glad that I was able to reach out to you earlier. Hey, hey, hey. I see y'all watching. I see you watching. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. I want to talk about this tonight because I think it is really, really important to talk about marriage mindset versus single mindset. I know a lot of women ask me all the time because men are not, necessarily looking to get married unless they're a certain age and different things that yeah, me too, Christine. I'm glad I reached out, sweetie. Yeah, because men are not necessarily looking to just get married, especially at a certain age, right? So I want to talk about that tonight. I want to talk about it. Um, I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to talk about it right off the rip. On Monday, we're going to be having on the radio show on Bars and Hoops Radio. I'm co-hosting with Najib Smith. We are going to be talking to an herbalist, somebody who can help us with the different herbs and different things that's going on in their body. Hey, I see you, nephew. I see you. I see you. So that's Monday night. This Monday coming up, we're going to be talking to a herbalist. We need that. We need to get our bodies right. We need to take the right things. Everybody's getting sick. They're getting colds. They're not feeling well. Flu, all this other stuff is going on. So we're going to be talking about that on Monday night on Bars and Hoops Radio. Do not forget to watch because it is going to be absolutely dope. It is going to be dope. And I want you guys to support as much as you can. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quick before I jump in is I want to talk about the workshop that I am doing. It is Restore, Renew, and Rebuild. That's the name of the workshop. And we are going to be talking about for 5 days. I'm sorry, it's going to be from January 28th to February the 1st. I had to change the date a little bit because I needed some more lead time. Hey, 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 I see you, Dalia. How are you, my love? Yes, 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 yes. So there's a lot of things that I got going on. Hey, sis, I see you. I love you. I love my sister. That's my big sister. Yeah, I love her. So there's a lot of things that are coming up. There's also a workshop that's going to be held let me just double check. I'm having a workshop the end of February to be February the 22nd or the 23rd. Be looking for that coming out. Be looking for that flyer to come out. So I had to change the workshop and push it back a week. That was supposed to be happening next week. I pushed it out 1 week. It's going to be fire. We're going to be talking about healing. We're going to be talking about restoring our lives, renewing our lives, and rebuilding, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, because we need to get it right in 25. 25, listen, I feel like nothing but elevation is coming in 2025. That's how I feel. I just feel like that. And I got a feeling that this thing is going to be like absolutely amazing. It is going to be amazing. So let's just jump right into this marriage mindset versus the singles mindset. What I notice is that a lot of women tend to ask me, like, why can't I meet somebody? Why, are things the way that they are? 25 all the way. Yes, 25 is all the way live. Say so, nephew. Say so. Say so. So, yeah. So when they ask me, like, Kim, I'm not meeting people. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I'm not meeting the right type of man. There is a lot of components that go into that I'm literally going to be covering in the workshop that I do from the 28th to February the 1st, right? I'm sorry, from the, Lord have mercy, y'all help me, from the 28th through the February the 1st, right? January the 28th to February the 1st, right? There's a lot of this that I'm going to be covering in that online workshop, and it's free. You do not have to pay for it. I'm just giving away the house because I feel like it's necessary. But a lot of women ask me this question because they cannot seem to meet the right guy. They cannot seem to meet the right guy. And I'm just going to give you all a little bit, a little bit tonight. But I just want to say this. A marriage mindset requires that some things be put in place. You know how you keep meeting the same type of man over and over and over again? And I'm talking about marriage mindset for both men and women. So I need y'all to hear me clearly tonight. Hear me clearly tonight. Y'all might want to even take out a little notepad because I promise y'all I'm going to give y'all some good stuff tonight, right? But the reason why I'm saying what I am saying is because of this. A marriage mindset requires that you set some things in place. Otherwise, people are not going to take you seriously about wanting to be married. And this is for all of my ladies. Moving into, I'm sorry, always me with these glasses. Moving into 2025, we're going to be doing something just a smidgen different than we've done before. And maybe it's a whole lot different than what you've done before, right? Because men are not gonna be like, oh, running around like, oh, I just want to get married. Oh, I just want to get married. Oh, they don't think like us. This is for my sisters right now. This is what I'm talking about, right? You have got to have the mindset that you're not taking any more shorts. Kim, what do you mean by that? Kim, what do you mean by that? You are not going to entertain anybody who is not in alignment with what you want. Period. If you find out that they are not in alignment with what you want, then it's time for you to go. You cannot entertain people who are not on the same level as you and expect that things are going to be what you want them to be. We are no longer trying to change anybody's mind. We are no longer trying to convince somebody that we are wonderful and amazing and loving and kind and we want to pour into them. We're not doing that no more in 25. We as women, and I'm going to get to my brothers in a minute, but we as women are no longer going to try to convince anybody of our worth and our value. Right? When you meet somebody, I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how much money he got. I don't care what he says. If he talking all that gushy, ooey gooey stuff, I don't care what, but if he is not going in the direction, right, that you want to go in your life, if he utters one word about not being ready, if his behavior is indicative of a man that's not ready, and I'm going to lay out what that looks like in a minute. If he is not laying this thing out for you, where you not leaving you little, what do they call that? It's this thing that they do. I forget the technical term for it. Gaslighting you, right? So what we're going to do in 2025 is going to be, hey, Brother Allen, I see you. I love you, brother. I love you, brother. So so we're not allowing the gaslighting. We are looking at actions, investment. We're looking at words. We're seeing if the words, the action, and the investment are all lining up. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for, right? In 2025. I don't care what we did in all of the previous years. It does not even matter. What we're looking for right now is we are looking for, oh, Christine, I still got your comment up there. We are looking for people who align with what it is that we need and we want as we move forward into 2025. That's what we're doing. Right? And anybody who is not in alignment with you and don't want the same things is bye-bye. I don't care how fine you are. And I think that the problem comes in at because in our minds, when somebody likes us, we have this whole meeting, this committee meeting in our head, and we get sometimes just a smidgen carried away. that part, with thinking that that person could potentially be our husbands. And for right now, I'm only talking to my sisters. I'm coming down through here. So the other part that I really truly want you to understand is that there's a different mindset that women who get married have versus women who stay single. And those three things I just said: alignment. Oh, I forgot to add purpose. What are they doing with their lives and what are you doing with yours? Right? Again, it's alignment. It's alignment. It is. So we want to think about, and y'all share this out with your friends, because I'm telling y'all, I got some stuff for y'all tonight. Y'all share it out on your Facebook pages. Thank you. And I appreciate that. Alignment with the person that you're going to be in a relationship with is vitally important. Core values are vitally important. Right? You do not want to choose somebody who does not align with your core values. I'm telling you, this is how we as women get messed up all the time, because they cute. That's how I got messed up, because they said, Kim, I like you and I want, will you be my boyfriend? Check yes, check no. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, like, is there something I could do to maybe change your mind? That kind of thing. And every single time it has, it was not good. And then there was a time, of course, that I wasn't ready, but that's a whole nother talk show for another day. What I want to talk about tonight, though, is having the mindset. Single people, this is both for men and for women. Single people always think about themselves. They never think about anybody else, because anybody else is not really a priority. Like, they will go to lunch with you. You may want to go out bowling, or you want to catch a movie with them, but it's always about them and what they want. Single mindset people, this is what they do. They think about, like, yo, it's about me. I want to build my life. I want to make sure I get me together. Everything is me, 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 me. That is a single mindset for both men and women. What lets you know if somebody potentially could be your potential partner are these things. And I'm going to start with the men first. When men want to get married, when they're ready to settle down, they begin to prioritize the person that they're with. They prioritize them. They let them know that they're important, right? Thank you, Brother Allen. I see you. Facts, that's so true. They begin to prioritize the person that they're with when men are ready to get married. And they state it. They say it. They say, I'm ready to get married. Like, I'm ready to, do something different. Now, not every one of them will say it. Sometimes they're just trying to feel you out. But most men that I know that I've talked to, and believe me when I tell you, I talk to a lot of men, they usually say, Kim, I'm ready. Like, I'm looking for my wife, or I'm ready to get married and settle down. They say it. And here's the thing. It doesn't take men long after they make that declaration and make that decision to find their wife. It doesn't take them long at all. Because what they're going to do is they're going to go through this methodical process, right? This methodical process, a process of elimination. They probably will think back about every girlfriend that they ever dated. They had a chance with women that they really digged, and they'll probably see where those women are. And then they'll begin their journey, their hunt. They'll begin to do the things, put things in place mentally, emotionally, financially, right? They'll begin to put things in place because they know that they want to get married. Because contrary to what people say, men really do want to get married. They don't opine for it the way that women do, because men have to choose women. They have to go through the process of kind of saying, well, I want to get married. That's number one, right? And then they got to say, I really dig her and I'm liking her vibe. And so they're going to go through the pursuit. They're not going to chase. They're going to pursue. And by pursuing, let me break that down. By pursuing, right, I mean that they are going to, be intentional about talking to her every day. They're going to be intentional about, setting up a date. They're going to be intentional about making sure that she's okay. They may not necessarily ask you if you ate, but they'll say, what are you doing for dinner tonight? Because I want to take you out to dinner. Like, you'll begin to see in that man that he is intentional about having you in his life. And there's not going to be 3, 4, 5 days where he's not talking to you. There may be a day or two if he's traveling to some other country, or there may be something that's going on, but you're going to get a text message and you're going to be very aware of what's going on when a man is ready to be intentional and ready to get married, right? When he thinks a lot of you and he values you, you're going to see a shift in his behavior. You're going to move from dating to courtship. And by courtship, I mean he's making you a priority, and not just at 11 o'clock at night. He's texting you throughout the day. He want to know how you're doing, or he's calling you to make sure you're good every day, right? That's something that women need to pay attention to. And women who are ready to get married, this is the difference between single-minded women versus marriage-minded women. Women prioritize teamwork. They know that it is not an I or me. They prioritize us. And so the same way that men use the language, they stop saying I and they start using the language of we. Does anybody agree with this? Y'all put a 1 in the chat if it's a yes, if you agree. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Because I really want to make sure that I'm hitting it where I need to hit it at, right? Men change their language when they feel in you. When you are the one for them, they start saying things to you like, babe, you don't got to worry about that. I got it. Like, they will get that fixed later. They will do it tomorrow. Baby, I got you. Like, oh, the car's okay. Babe, listen, I'll stop by on my way to take a look at it. Now, I'm going to make sure that you're good. Men change their language, and then the focus then comes and becomes you, right? The focus then becomes you. So these are the things that I want you to pay attention to, ladies, so we don't get caught up in the trap. This is the things that I want men to understand, because every woman is not a marriage mindset woman. Every woman, and I, I'm going to talk about Proverbs 31 woman. I didn't even have a scripture that just came to my heart just now. Everybody talk about, oh, I want the Proverbs 31 woman, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something. If you read this scripture, read Proverbs 31, I promise you she was a boss. She was taking care of her business. She was taking care of her children, right? Her husband was her husband sat amongst the elders. So he was wise. She was making money and woving things together and doing all kind of things like that. So when I hear women use the term, or men use the term, these women out here, they bosses. Right. Got you. I heard you. So was the Proverbs 31 woman. Read it for yourself. I promise it'll help you. I promise. So my point in even saying that is that a married-minded woman is taking care of her business. That's why Boaz was checking Ruth out. For real. Because she was already working. She was doing her thing. She was already taking care of Naomi. Like, we missed that part. We be missing that. We be missing that. Yeah, we be missing it. And so it is an imperative, and I need for y'all to hear me, that you continue to be the bright light that you are, and do not dumb yourself down in the process. But understand that a woman, a marriage-minded woman, prioritizes teamwork. She prioritizes us, and he uses the language of we when he's marriage-minded. Because he's not leaving you out there flapping in the wind by yourself. He's not doing it. He is not. Okay, the other thing is, when a man sees you differently, he prioritizes what you think. He pays attention. He asks you for your advice, wisdom. He asks you for, when he sees you, when a man sees you as his woman and potentially his wife, right? Is because he will ask you for your advice. He will ask you for your advice. And he'll cling to it. He won't dismiss what you're saying. He values you. Marriage-minded men who are with their potential woman, their potential wife, value. They value what she says. She becomes a priority. And women create a space and use wisdom when they're marriage-minded. They're not flipping off. They're not flipping off at their mouth. They are speaking words of love, encouragement, support. You got this. I got you. Don't worry. I'm going to help you as much as you can. And he is the same with you when he sees you on top of your game. Right? We're not talking about boo-boo out there. We're not talking about Pookie Ray Ray and them. We're talking about marriage-minded people today. That's what we're talking about. Right? So if you feel like you have a marriage mindset and you still can't figure out, like, why is it that I can't meet anybody? Why can't I, I'm always meeting the same type of dude. They don't want nothing, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Brother Allen, hi, Robert. How you doing? I thought that was Brother Allen. I'm coming to your comment in a minute. If you feel like you cannot meet somebody, ladies, then it's the energy that you're giving out. When they see you, they don't see you with operating with a certain level of wisdom. And I'm not trying to be harsh on my sisters. I'm just stating the truth. A man wants a woman that he can talk to, that is has a mindset that is about solving and resolving, not putting pressure and not causing conflict. Right? So when a problem arises, he needs to know that he can depend on you in the way that a man would depend on a woman. Right? Robert, I'm going to post your comment because I need to really see it clearly, even with my glasses on. It says, we will change when we are feeling you and we know that you have our back and support. Absolutely. 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 100% agree. When men will not use the word safe because that for some reason is a problem. But when a woman creates a safe space for a man, and it doesn't mean that he want to have a meltdown and start crying and boo-hooing, that don't mean that. I'm talking about a safe space where he knows he can trust you. He could trust you with what's going on in his heart and in his head. And men are not very trusting. They sit in the dark sometimes and they do the things by themselves, but they need a good woman, especially these single men. And they sit by themselves and they cry to themselves internally, externally, whatever. And because they don't have anybody that they can talk to. And so when he sees you operating with wisdom and that you're encouraging and that you're supportive of him, then what men do is they see that and they'll open up to you and they'll slowly begin to eke out what's on their minds and what's on their hearts, right? They won't tell you right away because they've been admonished for telling you right away because they've been hurt before, right? And so a marriage-minded man, when he sees a woman operating in her wisdom, right? And she's all about being the soft place, the land. They will gravitate towards you because you are their place of peace, right? And likewise, okay, when a woman is marriage-minded and she sees that man the way that she ought to see that man, right, as a king that he is, because he's a good man, right? She'll also seek his advice. She'll seek his wisdom. She'll ask him, babe, what do you think I should do? This just happened at my job. This just happened with my kids. This happened. What do you think I should do? Because I'm kind of at a loss and I don't know what to do, right? And you begin to build true intimacy in that way. Robert, I got to post this. Okay, it's nothing a man won't do for the woman he loves. That part. That part. Right? And so here's the thing. Here's the thing to my sisters. Every man that you meet that likes you, because they think you cute, and you holding something, you got a fatty or whatever, right? And they think you cute. They don't, all those men don't have the capacity to hold you, nor could all of those men be your husband. They just can't. They're not your husband. You need, just as much as a man needs a safe environment, women do too. And the moment you recognize this man no longer or does not have the capacity to hold you, and by that I don't mean physically, I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. He cannot hold you. He can be immature. He could be a lot of different things. Women could be immature. She could be a whole lot of different things. You need someone that when you're having your moment and you need to feel safe, he's right there by your side. She's right there by your side, right? So we need someone in our lives that has the capacity to sometimes not even say anything, not try to figure it out, but to sit with us and hold space for us while we do whatever it is that we do. So marriage mindset, people know that there is a we, there is a us. That's how men and women do it. And you know that you're building something because you hear that language. Baby, what are we going to do? From both him and yourself, right? So that's vitally important. When men begin to value the emotional connection between you, and I'm not talking about sex, because when I talk about intimacy, I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about the emotional connection. When there is an emotional connection, when he has that for you, yeah, well, we're talking about, I'm talking about men and women. Hi, my brother. I love you. Coming over here, single men know as well. Yeah, right. That part. Okay. So when a man is feeling you and he's got a marriage mindset, he values that emotional connection that the two of you have. He thinks a lot of it. And he thinks a lot of you because he doesn't connect to everybody. He can have sex, do whatever he, do. But hear me, he's not going to emotionally connect to everybody. But when a man is ready and they're like, yo, I'm ready to get married, they begin to seek different things versus a man who has a single mindset. A single mindset is all about me. Yo, I'm finna go get this because I can get her. She a hottie. Yo, I'm going to take her out to dinner. I'm going to drop this bread, but that's it. That kind of thing. Like, I'm talking from a younger person's perspective, I would assume. But I know that, there are some people who are 50 plus that still got the mindset that, yo, I ain't never get married. I don't know. I don't want this. So you got to be able to determine the difference, because there are some men out here who have a marriage mindset, who want the same things that you want, right? It's just when you meet them and when they're ready for it, right? And that's real talk, right? So wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. What did you say? Come on, everybody. Let's give my sister some stars. She talk. All right. Get them stars, girl. Y'all send me some stars. I wasn't even thinking about that, sis. But there you go. Thank you. Send me some stars. So, but I need for you to really truly understand that men really truly do value emotional connection. They do. Sometimes we think, oh, he don't care. He don't care about nothing but himself. No, that's not true. A marriage-minded man does value that, because at a certain age, he realizes that it's more than sex. At a certain age, you realize, like, I need somebody good in my life. I'm sick of it. Because men do know when things are empty, when it's just a hit it and quit it. They do know, and they know it in advance. They know the type of woman that they want, especially when men reach a certain age. They absolutely know, right? And so if this is what if you're messing with men who have a single-minded mindset, then do not expect this from them, because they are not. As a matter of fact, let me just be clear, ladies. Let me just be clear. Men who ain't looking for anything, who don't want anything, they ain't even studying you. And you need to know the difference. They are not going to in any way try to give you a clue that they are looking for anything different if all they want to do is sex you. They can pretend for a little while, but if you incline your ear and you pay attention, you will find out real quick that every man they're not even checking for you like that. Sure, they'll take you out to dinner because they got, a coin. They got a coin, right? They can take you out to dinner anywhere probably you want to go. And they're willing to do it to have sex with you. But that don't mean that he wants to be tied to you. And that also doesn't mean that he has a marriage mindset, right? So I need to just be clear. I need to be clear. Marriage-minded women create safe spaces for their men to be vulnerable. I've never said this before. I'm saying it tonight. Marriage-minded women create safe spaces for their man, to allow their man to be vulnerable with them. When you operate from the perspective of wisdom and you are peaceful and peaceable, and when they tell you stuff, you don't go flying off the handle, it means that it's a safe space for them to be able to talk. I will never forget, like, my son, my baby boy stopped talking to me at one point. Like, he wouldn't tell me nothing, right? Because I used to be like, what? Like I was a nut, right? Okay. So now he's grown. He's 30. He's 30 something. I don't even know how old he is, but anyway, he's low 30s. But anyway, my point is, because he didn't feel like he could tell me anything in the world, but at some point during his teenage years, he just stopped talking to me. And I think most teenagers do that. But primarily, I believe the reason why he stopped telling me anything, is because I would overreact to what he was saying to me. Because I was just being one of them crazy mamas, right? I didn't understand that when I overreacted, it pushed him back and away from me. It pushed him back. He's like, no, I ain't going to tell mommy now because she's going to flip out. I ain't going to do it, right? There's a whole lot of stuff going on when he was younger, right, that I had no idea about until he got older and he told me. He said, Mom, because you was going to overreact. Men do not want the overreaction from their woman. They want to just be able to share what's on their heart when they do open up. And it is so hard to get men to open up because somebody told them they're not supposed to cry, because somebody told them or let them indicate it to them that their feelings did not matter, to suck it up, be a man, and keep it moving. So when they find you and you are a place of peace, my God, it's like they just discovered gold. And do you know, consequently, every woman is not peaceable. I don't care how beautiful they are. I don't care what they holding. I don't care that they got a fatty. Some of these women out here is crazy as HELL. Let's just keep it real. And there's a lot of brothers out here that's off the hook too. But I just said that about women. We're gonna leave that right there. Men and women, y'all know the deal, right? But if you want to be married, whether this is for men or women, because men are realizing, like, listen, I'm 50-something years old. I'm 60. I'm almost 60. Like, I'm ready to settle down. Y'all about ready to retire. That, right. That is how you were raised, Rob. Right. Yeah. I know. And that's the issue. But then you let women take over and start raising these kids by themselves. And the kids are all, now it's too much. That's a whole nother story. I ain't going to get into that because that's going to be offensive to a whole bunch of people on both sides of the coin, right? So I'm not even going to get into that. But I am telling you that men need a safe space, but women need to feel safe too. They need to know that they are a priority to the brothers. So women, married-minded women create safe spaces. They create safe spaces. And that's the truth. That's the truth. A marriage-minded man will make his partner's feelings a priority. He's not going to dismiss you. He's not going to dismiss you. When you tell him something, you're opening up your heart and you're sharing something, he's not going to dismiss you. The issue is that men try to resolve all the problems. And sometimes as women, we don't say, well, we don't need you to solve it. We're just sharing our feelings. I'm not asking for your advice. Men don't necessarily deal with their emotions in the same way. They just got to fix it. And so if you're talking, if you're having a little meltdown with your man, he can't necessarily handle that because he's not built like that. He's like, there's a solution to this. Let's fix it. He's going to be methodical in his thinking. He's trying to figure it out. He's not trying to be emotional with you like your girlfriend. So we need to determine, but he will make space and try to be empathetic and try to understand from his different emotional space, because he doesn't process emotions the same. Women need to understand that. Sometimes you get mad because he's not as emotional or upset as you are. He might very well be just as upset as you are about a particular thing, but he does not handle it the way that we handle it. He's looking for solutions. We're in our emotions. That doesn't mean he's not marriage-minded. He's not dismissing you. He is trying to problem solve. And women need to understand the distinct difference between how men emotionally emote, how they emote versus how we emote, right? That part, right? We need to do that. When men are marriage-minded, they begin to talk about the future long-term. They're not just talking to you about, tomorrow or next week, or y'all finna catch a flight to Jamaica or something, right? They're not just doing that. They're thinking about the ways in which they can build, the ways in which they can support. They're thinking about you being a priority, and they're also thinking about the responsibility of taking care of you. And I know that women do not think off the rip that men care about that, but that's a lie. Any man that loves you, he knows that he is responsible for you, and he's going to feel responsible for you, because that's what men do. Men buy homes based on their families. Oh, I see you. You know what? That's a whole nother topic. Yeah, but no, it's true. You're absolutely correct, Rob. You are 100% correct, right? So because men and women emote differently, and because we deal with things differently, men understand that marriage means responsibility, which is probably why men these days are not so quick to try to jump into marriage, because they understand that even though they love this woman, taking this woman on with whatever it is that she got going on is a huge responsibility, because him being the leader here in the marriage and in the relationship, the man knows that everything rests on his shoulders. It's a heavy load because he's already carrying his. So when he says, I want to marry you, understanding that it is a heavy load, understand that he not running around here asking every woman to marry him. He checking her out. He trying to see what she about, trying to see what's going on. He trying to see who she is and how she renders in the world, what's really going on with her, and getting to know you. So there's nothing wrong with dating and taking your time and becoming friends and doing all the things. Take your time, get to know the person that you're in a relationship with, and he checking you out from the gate, much like Boaz was checking out Ruth while she was out there gleaning in the field. He watching you. That's why, ladies, I tell you, y'all are hot mess here on Facebook. Some of the stuff y'all be posting, I be like, I don't know. And they talk about, oh, I want a man. Yeah, I don't know, sis. I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't know, sis, because that don't look too good. You out here mad. You mad, you angry, and don't nobody like you, right? And I'm only saying this to my sisters is because we the ones who really dream about marriage. Men get to marriage when they get a little bit older and they feel like they got enough bank and they pockets is a little heavy because they been saving their money and now they ready to build with a family or whatever. Men don't just fly out here and do things all willy-nilly. And I'm not saying we do either, but it's a real thing. Because they are responsible. They know that they're about to take on the responsibility of you. And if you got children, and if you have adult children at this point, and if your children are still at home, and what is the situation going to be? Like, how is he going to fit in? You know what I mean? To all of that. How are you going to incorporate each other into your lives? Men think about that. They do. They think a lot about it. And a marriage-minded woman has a mindset of growth. She wants to see things elevate. She wants to help and support and encourage. Because in a real way, she knows that that's how it has to be. If I want to see my king do better, then I've got to be the one to help him, to elevate him, to speak life to him, to do the things that you do when you're a wife, when you're operating in it already, right? Before he actually puts a ring on your finger, right? And also, a woman is always ready to give positive and encouraging feedback, or just feedback, period. But she also understands that a marriage-minded man is going to give her feedback, and she's willing to sit and say, okay, and receive what her husband, her potential husband, is going to say to her without getting upset and angry and thinking it's a personal attack, right? But you only feel like it's a personal attack when you don't trust them, right? Because that's the only time it really feels like it's a personal attack, if you think about it. It's when you don't trust them. I don't trust what you're saying. I don't trust that you love me. I don't trust that you care, right? So now, if one false move and you outraged because you don't trust them. So you need to check what's going on in you. What's at the root of your mistrust for him? Is it something he did, or is it something somebody else did? And that's the same thing that men need to ask themselves. Is it something that she did, or is it, or do you feel like there's something from a previous relationship that happened that makes you feel this way, right? Because if no one can say anything to you, if they can't, say something to, say, babe, that's kind of wrong. Like, I don't agree with that, without you flying off the handle, both men and women, or feeling less than because somebody didn't puff you up, and they said, wait, babe, let's rethink this. Let's rethink this. So what about this? Or what about that? If you think everything that's coming out of the mouth of a potential person is an attack on you, everything, like they can't tell you that the sky is blue and without you getting an attitude, one way or the other, for men and women, right? Then you need to get to the root cause of what's going on inside of you. Because if they can't talk to you, then there is no relationship. If there is no communication, there you go, sis. There you go. If there's no communication, then there is no relationship. If there is no trust, then there is no relationship. Right? So we can't get from point A to point B unless we have those two things at the foundation, and respect, love, admiration, but trust and communication, key components. Ain't nothing going down unless you have those. Nothing, right? And so when a man is has a marriage mindset, right? He wants to create a trusting environment for his wife. He don't want her to ever have to worry. He's honest. He's transparent. He's forthcoming. You're not going to have to guess that he had to stop. He was 2 hours late. You're not going to have to guess why. I'm telling you, he going to call you and he going to tell you, babe, my mom called. I had a crisis. I can't get there right now. I'll be there as soon as I leave my mother's house, my cousin's house, my auntie's house, because she told me to run to my auntie house to go blah, blah, blah. He gonna let you know. He's gonna be transparent and open with you about what's going on, because he doesn't ever want you to worry about what's going on. Because quiet as it's kept, he knows that you've been through some things. He knows at the point, but he has a marriage mindset, and he also understands the responsibility that he has as a man to be consistent with you and to show himself trustworthy, because he knows that he knows all the horror stories you heard. He knows what you lived. At some point, he begins to know you because he's studying you the entire time. He's studying who you are. He's studying whether or not, like, even if you're friends, right? And you're just friends and you've been friends for a long time, he's studying whether or not you sleep around. He's studying whether or not you dated 17 guys at one time. I'm telling you, he's watching you. He's watching what you write on Facebook, on social media. He's watching what you do in every aspect of your life. And women, if you pay attention, we need to do the same. We need to do the same. Real talk. Because if you don't study your man and figure out how he operates and that, okay, Rob, okay. If you don't study your man and you don't find out, like, you got to learn the person that you could potentially marry. So marriage mindset folks, marriage mindset people are going to study a potential partner. And what I said initially in the beginning still stands true. Like, you're intentional about who you spend your time with. You're intentional about what you do. You're intentional about who you entertain, right? So even starting out dating and different things like that, you're going to be intentional. Like for women, like, I'm not going to entertain somebody who's not in alignment with me, period. Men, they will entertain you whether you're in alignment or not if they want to get the good. So that's the difference between the two. If they're not marriage minded versus women who want to be married. You cannot entertain boo-boo the fool. You can't. And get to where it is that you want to be. Sis, thank you for the stars. Thank you. I see you. Thank you. You always blessing me. I love you, sis. I love you. Both men and women do not, when they're marriage minded and they're dating you and they liking you and they feeling you and all this other stuff, and they made a decision to court you, they're not going to let anything jeopardize what they're building with you. They're not going to let any outside interference, another woman. They're not going to let their boys interfere. They're not going to let their mama interfere. They are not going to. Marriage-minded people understand. Marriage-minded men know it is leave and cleave. Leave your family and cleave to your wife. Same thing for women. Women need to understand that if you're marriage-minded, it is then about the two of you. It is about us. It's about us. It's about what we can build together, what we can do together, right? And so I'm not saying that your partner can't fall short in any one of these areas. I'm telling you that there is a distinct difference in the people that you entertain. The ones who are marriage minded, and if that's what you want, they need to be in alignment with you. Single mindset people, right? They are only thinking about themselves and what they need to do in their own thing. If you want to be married, you need to adopt marriage concepts. It cannot be all about you and what you want. It can't be. It doesn't work like that. I know some people, oh, God bless you too, Sister Martha. I love you. I know people who get married. Like, and then they want to, I've actually literally seen this a few times. They got a man, right? They just dating, but they got a man. They got somebody they're serious about. And they're about to go buy a car, right? They don't ask their partner anything. They just, next thing you know, they popping up with the car. Oh, what did you do today? Oh, I went to the car dealer. That's what she says. I went to the car dealer. You went to the car dealer? You didn't even talk to me. You didn't tell me you was going to buy a car. They never ran the idea past their partner. No, because it's my money. I'm going to pay the car. No, it's all good. Da, 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 da. If the man was thinking about marrying you, he going to rethink the fact that you never even employed him in the decision-making process. Y'all better hear me. That kind of stuff matters. If you're in a serious relationship with somebody and your job offers you a position that's in another state, and you know that you and this person are tight and y'all were trying to build something together, and you never ever consider them or you never run it by them, you just say, listen, my job offered me a position in California, not California. California's on fire right now. Lord Jesus, pray for those people in LA. Pray for them. And you never ran that by your potential, the person that you dating, the person you seeing, the person that's courting you. You don't have a marriage mindset. That's for both men and women. If it's one thing to change jobs or something happened and, y'all not that serious and they say, oh, I got a new job today. Really? I didn't even know you was applying for a new job. Yeah, I got a new job because that company, blah, 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 blah. That's different, right? And it doesn't, nothing changes in the dynamics of the relationship. But your company calls you and says, listen, I got a position for you, but it's out west. And you don't discuss that with you. You don't come back and talk to the one that you're courting or potentially betrothed to. Like, that's a problem. That's a problem. So that's a single mindset. Because when you have somebody in your life, real talk, that you really are feeling, vibing, wanting to be with, right? Then you take a different approach. Men know that they are the heavy, and they know that if they love that woman or they care deeply for that woman and they want to go further with her, they're going to have a discussion. You know what? My job offered me a position, and I don't know if I should take it, but it's paying me, $50,000 more, but we got, I got to go, or we got to go out west. He's serious about you when he say we, right? He not just talking about I. He's talking to you about what he wants to do next in the long term. Marriage-minded people make a decision to commit. They're not just out here all willy-nilly, whatever. Oh, okay. You know how some dudes say, yeah, I'm just going with the flow. I'm not really, I just want to go with the flow right now. That's where I'm at, right? Marriage-minded men are not trying to just go with the flow. They're looking, they want their wives, they want that special woman to be by their side that's going to rock with them. And that's real talk. A woman who got their back and got the capacity to hold them down, that's not going to run at the first sign of trouble. You know what I mean? So the other thing I wanted to tell you is this is what makes men choose women that I don't think women pay attention to. But it is like the top 3 things that makes a man really gravitate towards you. When a woman is open, right? That's not even one of them, but when a woman is open, but also when a woman is intentional. When a man sees that a woman is setting goals and she's really working towards them, and he sees that she's honoring herself, he then in turn honors the fact that she honors herself, her goals, right? And the other part is that she's stable. She's not wishy-washy. She's not all over the place. Her temperament is, even keeled. She's not flipping out 1 minute and the next minute she cool, calm, and collected, like, bipolar. Listen, I ain't putting that on nobody. I'm just saying it is what it is, right? And when a woman is emotionally adept, in tune with what's going on around her, men pay attention to that. They pay attention to whether or not a woman can be empathetic, compassionate, emotionally intelligent. They pay attention to that. And if you don't, brothers, y'all need to. right? Because if she not stable and she all over the place, what you doing with her? It says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So a lot of men don't have a favor from the Lord because they ain't doing what they supposed to do, and they just out here just doing all kind of foolishness with all different kind of women, and they can't figure out why they not blessed. I promise you that it's tied to it. It may not be the immediate, urgent, right up front thing, but it's tied to why you're not as blessed as you could possibly be. Listen, you about to get off. I'm about to get off too. I love you. I love you. I want to just tell y'all one more time about the workshop, Restore, Renew, and Rebuild. It is going to be on January the 28th through February the 1st at 7:30. It's a free workshop, right? It's a free workshop on Zoom, and we meet 7:30 each night on Zoom, and you have to register for it. I'm going to drop the link in the Zoom, drop the link under this live so that you guys can register. When I tell you it is going to be absolutely amazing, I am going to be going in during this 5-day workshop, right? And we're only meeting for an hour each night. That's it, right? And hopefully the last night it'll be about 45 minutes. But I'm telling you, it is going to be absolutely amazing. And I only pushed it back. I changed the date because I needed more lead time. I didn't do everything I needed to do. Hey, Nene, I see you, boo-boo. I see you. So, yeah, so it's going to go down the 28th of January to February the 1st at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. I hope to see y'all there. On Monday, I hope you guys are watching me on Bars and Hoop Radio. I'm going to be sharing that live from the radio station, not my I'll share my personal live too, but I'll be sharing it from the radio station. It's going to be dope. We're going to have an herbalist on. That's going to be nice. And I'm very excited about being the co-host with Najib Smith on Protected Class Radio Show on, again, Bars and Hoop Radio. So it's going to be dope. I'm excited about all of the things. And then also, I want you to look for an in-person workshop coming the end of February. It is going to be February the 22nd or the 23rd, and it is going to be at a very, very upscale restaurant, and we're going to have the whole space. So there's a limited amount of tickets for that. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to be putting out the flyers for that. That's the end of February, and we are just kicking off this new year like we're supposed to. Listen to me. If you want to be married, you have to change your mindset from single to a married mindset. There are some women and some men out here that don't know the first thing about that don't know the first thing about service, that don't understand that marriage is give and take, that it is always about forgiveness and reconciliation and working through things. People who have a single mindset always feel like they are being victimized if they don't get their way. A lot of people are running around here with narcissistic behaviors, thinking that the world revolves around them and spins on its axis because of them. That's not how marriage works. Marriage is sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. Love is what you do. It is not a feeling. So I just wanted to get on this tonight, and I wanted to share with y'all. I'll probably go live again tomorrow night with a different topic because I had like so many topics written down. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. But here's the deal. This is what I need from you. I need you to work out all of the things that is inhibiting you from getting to where it is that you want to be. So this Restore, Renew, and Rebuild workshop that I'm doing, it's basically about healing. It's basically about healing and wholeness and making yourself, shifting the energy that would draw to you the things that you truly want through prayer, through manifestation, through seeking God's face and asking God to mold you and shape you into who He wants you to be so that you can be a good wife, so that you can be a good husband, so that you don't have to do this alone. And I promise you, for every woman that hears this, even on the replay, they will not do what it takes in order to change. I know they got to get with me. It's and they think it's all about them, and they so wrong, and they're never going to meet the person that they want to be with. And I'm not trying to talk bad about people. I'm telling you that the person that you want to be with, if you're going to be successful in that relationship, there is going to have to be some change. And I really mean that. Do you see what I need from you, Miss Love Jones? What? I need you to do a 24-hour live. You so stupid. You so stupid. Ain't nobody playing with you, Rob Boogie. I love you, brother. You know I love you. Ain't nobody doing no 24-hour live. No, we ain't doing that. My jaws hurt right now from talking too much. Lord, I got to go. It's 1 hour up on this field. I've been talking too much. No, but I just want y'all to think about that. Think about what that means. Marriage mindset versus single mindset. That's why a lot of women aren't married. And men don't feel like they got to get married, all the time. So that's what we grow up with. But we got to change our energy. We got to become. And the only way that you really truly become is when you ask God to make you over and you surrender your will over to him. And then he'll begin to change you. And you'll become more attractive and your energy will shift. And people will always be like, oh, yo, you dope. You dope. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And that's primarily because you render differently when you walk with God. Listen, I got to go. I love y'all like I love me some fried chicken. And God knows I love me some fried chicken. I love y'all. Y'all have an awesome and amazing night. And I will see y'all again soon. All right.